us tonight as we go about doing the business of this great community. Business for our citizens. Father, I pray you continue to watch over our public servants, our public works, our EMS, our fire, our police. Lord, all of those who work here at City Hall. Lord, may you bless them and keep them safe. Lord, thank you for all the blessings you give us each and every day. For your name we do pray.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have two people who want to speak tonight. The first one will be Bill Durf. Welcome.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Carol. This is a lot chillier than you and I had a week ago down in Florida, right?
It was horrible. Mark just asked me. I said it was horrible down there.
Jody says it's, well, Kevin Underwood called me just a few minutes ago, says it's raining and 68 degrees. I said, we're close to that. We've got the 8, and that's about it, guys. Now, we wanted to stop by here. The Treon Memorial, some of y'all didn't get a chance to get out there. It was kind of rushed to get the dedication at that point in time because we were waiting for the railing to come in before we could do the dedication because we had to have it set up for ADA compliant at that time. So some of y'all may not have had a chance to come out to the Treon. If you haven't been to the Treon Monument, please make time to go out. And just to kind of let you know what it was about, and the whole took how many years, Young? 10 years. 10 years to develop and actually build the monument. And Young was the major contributor to over 50% of what that cost, and we were pushing $2 million on that thing. So I have to thank, and it's a notable monument. No place else in the United States that I am aware of that since the Statue of Liberty has another country spent money to honor our soldiers for coming over and fighting for their freedom. So I have to give Young and the South Vietnamese that put up their dollars to thank our soldiers for being over there. Because those of you, there's only one of you that's probably old enough to remember the war. They weren't really thanked when they came home. So we wanted, well, Carol, actually you are too.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So at 29, you might know that. They don't really get the thanks. We do have Memorial Day. We do have Veterans Day. But we would like to have this as a dedication to when you realize what the Vietnam War was about. The memorial is not a timeline of the Vietnam War. It is a history of what communism can do to any country at any given time. Why, by the American soldiers and all the different soldiers that were over there fighting for their freedom, they want to thank us for that, but it stopped the spread of freedom. Stopped the spread of communism all to the countries around there during that time frame. For 10 years, communism couldn't spread. So the democracy held up. So they fight over there both was for to stop the spread of communism, the camaraderie that they built over there, and the fact that they were there representing the United States. So the Treon, I keep saying it wrong, I said it wrong for years, monument is one to thank our military. So tonight we wanted to thank you all. We wanted to thank all of City Hall, but we also wanted to thank the council and the mayor for saying, yes, we believe in this, we support it, and we want to continue on doing it. So Young has come with me today, and he will present you with a challenge coin. The reason why we haven't been here sooner, we just got the challenge coin in 2 days ago. Challenge coin, and generally started in the, Fred, you can correct me if I do this wrong, because you're the one that originally taught me about the challenge coin. A challenge coin is generally a person of one of the services would give you a challenge coin by shaking your hand, and that's honoring you with their military service. We're doing that by honoring you with the Treon Monument, the people that have helped build the Treon Monument. The way the challenge coin works, though, is if you're in the G.I. Joe post, this in the military, and somebody slaps down a challenge coin, everybody in the bar has to slap down their challenge coin. If one person does not have their challenge coin with them, they get to buy the drinks. If everybody has a challenge coin, The person who slaps down the challenge coin gets to buy the drinks. But the biggest part of the challenge coin we wanted tonight is just to give you something to remember by what you have done and what you have thanked the world. Because we have, as he will tell you later, Tryon has been a national monument, and we want to make it an international monument because it is from another country of South Vietnam, who is no longer there, saying thank you to you. So, Young, if you would present each one, just head right up. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't mind, he'll come up and he'll shake your hand, have the coin in his hand, and present it to you. We have a couple other things we want to touch on and a couple other people we want to thank. If you all don't mind, Ms. Mayor, that if we go a few more minutes over the 3 minutes.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, she said something, so I can talk longer, Bill. Is that right? 2 minutes.
Maybe 3. It started now.
On his way. Okay. If anybody ever has a minute and wants to buy him a drink or a coffee and sit down and realize his experience coming from South Vietnam, and how he got here, how he lived through the jungle and got over here and how long it took him.
It's a very interesting story.
Yeah.
I would like for this council to hear it one night. Maybe I can make him come in 15 minutes early and he can sit down and tell how he got here, because it is very, very interesting.
The communists have trained the families of the kids that if they hear anybody in the family or the village talking about leaving or talking badly about communism, they will hang that person in the center of town. There was one young lady that happened to be in the concentration camp that was talking about communism, what it would be like outside the camp, and her son turned her in. And the mother was, I believe, hung in the small village, and the son was proud that he turned in his mom. So that's what you're living through. And so when he left, he told his parents knew, but his siblings never knew. So you can imagine leaving your family and your siblings never knew whatever happened to you. So there's a lot of things that we take for granted here that we don't realize that what they went through over South Vietnam. I'm going to turn it over to Young to carry on for a few more minutes and let you know who we want to thank. Young?
Well, first of all, thank you all very much for all your support over the years. This project took a decade. Started with Mayor Bill D. Ruff and for many years, and then continue on with Mayor Pike. And all along, we got tremendous support from the city council. So from the bottom of our heart, we want to thank you for all your support too. And we are very proud of the end result. We have added to this community, to this city at large, and our state, a beautiful monument that which should be of national interest, and that's what we want to accomplish. I also want to say a couple of things that about other departments in the city, especially Public Works and the police department, who have helped us in many ways over the years, and especially during the dedication event back in early October. So we are going to work with Public Works and Police Department. We don't know when yet, but we're going to work with them to maybe organize some kind of appreciation event with each department, where we probably we're thinking of bringing in some lunch and eat a lunch with them, something along that line. But
nice.
that's now we want you to know that that's going to happen sometime soon. And I'm also here to ask you for permission to do and some kind of event later next year, probably around the. We are thinking of an event around the anniversary of the monument, and the purpose of the event will be twofold. One is to raise national awareness to for the monument, because we're going to use media, social media, and different ways to get the word out, to ask people to bring people in. And so the second purpose is to honor Vietnam veteran, both Americans and Vietnamese, who fought together during the war. So we are thinking of doing an event. We don't have the detail yet. That's something that we will be working out over the next few months. But we are thinking of doing the event somewhere between Gaslight and Veterans Day. So it's probably at the end of September or early October on a Sunday. So it's either Sunday, October 6th or September the 29th, I believe. And so I'm hoping that we will get your support to hold such an event here.
What I think that
monument.
Young is trying to say is that they felt like that it didn't get the exposure that it should have gotten. And due to the fact that no one knew when the monument was going to be completed and the sod and the railing and all that, they would like to do another formal event for this year. Am I understanding
Yes,
that right?
Yes,
Bill?
yes, yes.
And so I think that's what he would like to do. And of course, in order for us to do that, then they're going to need our help, and they're going to need our public works, or need our police department. And he's asking for you all today if he could do this another time. It's not going to be an every year event, just this year. Am I right on that?
Right. We are not thinking of an annual event.
Right.
Well, it depends on how it works out. If all of us think that it bring benefits, if it honor our veterans and it bring people to the community, maybe that's something we want to do. But
How many
that's something
people-
for the future.
How many people do you think didn't come that you anticipated coming? And this
Well,
next
we
time?
know that when we held the dedication event last October, we had very little time. We had very little time from the time that it's actually completed to the time that we have to do it before it gets too cold.
Right.
And so up until the day of the event, we were still doing work.
Right.
So we don't know precisely how many people don't get the word, don't know about it, but a lot of people told us that they didn't know about the event, and they would have come otherwise. But we thought that if we had an event that would bring people's attention to the monument, to our city here, to our community here, that and at the same time honor the veterans, that that would be something worth considering.
So also, what Young is and Carol was, that date, we didn't use a Sunday before, we used a Monday. The disadvantage to a Monday is a lot of people couldn't come. It wasn't on a weekend. What we ran into is the Jeffersonian was already reserved, and we were needing the parking. But this time we would ask if you all would allow us to reserve the Jeffersonian in case it's inclement weather, similar to we do for Labor Day and Memorial Day and Veterans Day, so that we can just go ahead and start planning it now. Now, during this time frame, we plan on publicizing J-Town and their support for veterans across the world. I don't know if you realize that what this man before you, IT wise, him and the people that are involved in this thing, have more IT people power than most of the people in this city. So they're looking at the ability to expand the Treon around the world so that they know that J-Town is absolutely veterans friendly and Vietnam vet friendly. So we're just asking you if that day is a good day. Now, another thing, we had a meeting today, and just to catch you all up on it, and that Carol's already knows about this, we're looking to put in cameras. We're looking to put in the cameras, and we're looking to put in more lights in that area for us. The cameras
Not the
will
city's
complement the
expense,
cameras.
but Tryon's
Yeah,
expense.
the cameras will complement the cameras that we have now, but we're at the point of doing that we would pay for it to keep that up.
That'd be a good idea for cameras and lighting just to protect, make sure it's
So we're not asking you all to do
safe.
that.
Yeah.
We have the funds in, we think. We haven't got the pricing, but we think we will go ahead and do that too.
Have you all checked to see if the Jeffersonian's available?
I saw
I-
Debbie grab her laptop.
I did too.
What were the dates?
Both dates are, yeah.
So it's a tentative thing right now. We're looking at, as I said, it's January, and last time we ran into somebody reserving it already. So we're just kind of asking you all now if that would be okay. If for some reason it doesn't happen, we would just say we can't do it. We're going to do something else. But we will be doing something for the Vietnam vets. I can tell you that. But it's right now the look is to have an event so that you all will know about it and the rest of the people around the country know about it. Vince,
What does Tryon stand for?
great gratitude.
Great gratitude.
Look at your piece that we just gave you, and it says at the very bottom, great gratitude.
Gratitude. It says it
That's
all.
what Treon stands for.
Thank you.
Vietnamese.
I'm sorry, when was the dates again, the event?
Sixth, it's on a Sunday. It's a sixth and
October.
6th of October or the 29th of September, I think.
Okay,
we're trying to get it far enough away from Gaslight so Jimmy doesn't have a heart attack.
Yeah.
But not so close to Veterans Day that John Wright doesn't have a heart attack.
What kind of budget, like, would J-Town be responsible for? I mean,
We're thinking of J-Town, the Public Works, which they do normally, and maybe some policing. It'd be similar to Memorial Day or Veterans Day. So it's not going to be of the magnitude we did the last time. Now, the magnitude we did last time, we paid for all the busing and the food and everything.
oh,
But we're probably not, we talked today, we're not looking to do that because that could be very, very expensive.
Right.
And that would be on us, but we would ask,
We normally pay for the chairs and the public works and of course, anything that we have to do with
It-
that. How much does it cost, Debbie, to rent those chairs? One of the problems that we ran into last time, Debbie, was about the park shutting down for a long period of time. Refresh my memory on that. Oh, okay.
like I said, it'd be a similar to a different theme, Veterans Day.
Well, when is Veterans Day exactly in October? Do you know, or
Veterans in November.
November? Okay, as long as I wouldn't want it to be one day and that to be the next day. You need to be spaced between the Veterans Day and that day,
It will be 4 or 5 weeks before.
4 or 5 weeks. Okay.
November 11th,
November 11th
November 11th,
is what? Veterans Day?
Veterans
Day.
Day.
Depends on when that weekend,
when the memorial is, yeah.
Sunday is.
So that'll be
But
10th.
if you all be so inclined to let us do that, we will move forward with the process.
What's your all's?
I definitely do not have a problem with that. I think, with the time, the money, the love, the heart, the soul that went into this project, I'm 100% for it. If we
Well-
need to take that out.
Do we need a motion
I
or
would
do
do
we need to
Yeah.
write up the motion or do we just say something right now?
I'd make a motion, Vince.
Are you gonna,
Second it.
are you gonna do a not to exceed amount or what are you gonna do?
Oh. Well,
I don't,
Why don't we, if I could ask permission, if you all would just do a motion to allow us to use the Jeffersonian as a free and that day in the park for free. We will talk to you later about the numbers.
okay.
But it's very, 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 very early, Vince.
I'll make a motion that we allow them to use the Jeffersonian in October on a specified date.
Our second,
Second.
all in favor?
uh,
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Bill.
As you all have realized in a previous council meeting, there was a young man that did a replica, Lego replica of the Tryon Monument. And we have talked to this young man, Tim, and he has since built another one.
Yeah.
Another one,
An improved version.
an improved version with a case. The case comes with it.
Oh,
Case comes with it that he would like to present to the mayor tonight to be dedicated and given
Oh.
to the city.
how nice.
Well, when you brought it before, we were very impressed. You took it out, and I think it's great. And we're going to find a place. I'm going to be redoing some kind of a bookcase or something that I would like to display it in.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, he did such- Yes,
Oh, nice.
that's so talented. Great job.
It is. Whoever wants to get a picture of it.
Oh.
And he's got a glass.
what's the young man's name?
Thank you.
What's the young man's name?
10.
Tim?
Yeah, and
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Great job, Gib.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Young.
You done? Thank you all. And thank you for choosing Jeffersontown to make this beautiful monument. And I do believe you're putting us on the map. I've had several people in another country, from another country, ask me about that, believe it or not. So I think you're making your word throughout the United States. Thank you. Read of the minutes, December 19th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting on December 19, 2023.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. General fund warrant number 1599.
I make a motion to approve general fund warrant 1599 as distributed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion opposed? Motion carried. Road fund warrant number 986.
I make a motion, we approve road fund warrant 986 as distributed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. First reading of resolution number 766, series 2024.
I make a motion to approve resolution.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a one-year contract extension with Global Paving and Construction, paving City of Jefferson County streets. By way of summary, Mayor, this is with respect to paving contracts for our city streets. It's a renewal and amended of an existing contract. Jimmy's here if you need any specifics. He can answer any questions. No questions, you may entertain a motion to pass it.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Second reading of ordinance number 1445, series 2023.
I make a motion for reading by title only of ordinance number 1445, series 2023.
Here a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Ordinance relating to the amendment of ordinance number 2004 at C, including inter alia ordinances number 1436, series 2022, relating to compensation and classification of city employees in the city of Jefferson County, Kentucky. By way of summary, this particular ordinance reflects a change from the community development, economic development departments, merged into two, creating a separate division therein for a economic development manager. It also creates engineering technician for public works. Service, and that's why they are included in this. Matt's here if you have any questions about any part of this. If you have any questions,
Fred, thanks for clearing that up for me.
yes, sir.
At this time, well, no, go ahead, and then I'll bring
If
it
there
up.
are no further questions, you may entertain a motion for passage, this being a second reading of this ordinance.
I had one question, Fred. I think when we were discussing last time, we were talking about the G13, G14, if I remember.
Yes, sir.
Is the economic development manager position a G13?
Yes,
Yes.
And it reports to,
it's always been a G14, and I think Brian got a little upset about it. But it's not going to affect anybody's salary, so.
right, but we did switch that to where the manager reports to a
Uh,
director.
Yes, sir, that's,
G levels.
I think that's on page 3 or 4 of the ordinance.
He will report to a G14, which will
It's
be
on
me
page
or.
4 of the ordinance, with respect to the economic development manager, it is listed as a G13, but it won't affect anybody's salary.
And that was in the first reading, or not the first reading, but when it was first presented, it was a G4. It listed as G14. We made that switch.
Continued as a G14. This is before the mergers of the two departments.
Okay. And I'm asking because in the, I don't have a copy of the updated one that was sent to us.
I can let
I'll
you look
give you
at
mine.
mine. Mhm.
There's a hard copy. No, he can have it.
Awesome.
I think it's on page 4, I believe.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I have a first and a second.
So moved for first.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. At this time, I would like to bring Matt up. I've told you, council, how important that it is about the economic development to proceed in this city. And we have got a great team going on here. There's a lot of things that are buzzing and are happening, and people are excited. I went to the First Baptist Church for Martin Luther King Day, and the buzz in that church was phenomenal. And they're so excited about what's getting ready to take place in downtown Jeffersontown. And we are going to have economic development to where we're sick of economic development, I'm hoping. Okay. So at this time, I would like for Matt to come up and tell you what's gone on, and myself and Brian, Matt, and then we've had some other meetings. We're putting together a whole staff. Scott will be included in on it, Steve Rusi included in on it, to where we don't say no to development. We find a way to say yes if it's at all feasible. So anyway, Matt, go ahead with telling what you know.
Well, I just want to share with you a few things that's going to be happening in this coming year. I was approached by the University of Louisville and their graduate level classes that was looking for a community that they could adopt to do a part of one of their graduate level courses. So I met with them, talked about maybe an interesting project in our downtown to help us look at our downtown and figure out a very strong economic development type of strategy for it. So in that process, another professor came on board and was interested in it. So there's going to be 2 classes, graduate level classes, that are going to focus on our downtown. One is a neighborhood planning type of studio. I went down and gave them a presentation last week to kind of set up what it is we're doing. And so they're focused, and I got a little handout here I'll leave you. Their focus is going to look at it from a neighborhood standpoint. What does it need in order to succeed as a neighborhood, as far as a downtown type of neighborhood? So it will look at land use and some transportation elements. The second one is more of an urban design studio. That class is going to focus on economic development strategies in the built environment. It's going to look at design characteristics of your downtown and really kind of take a holistic approach on looking at a catalytic type of site possibly to focus on in order to create some tangible results that hopefully then as different opportunities for development look at our downtown, they have some tangible evidence to show that it could possibly work here in different scenarios, whether it be expanded restaurants, retail, hotel, or anything else of that nature. The other thing, late last fall, I think it was due around the end of October, I applied for a grant through the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet called Creating Vibrant Communities. It's a new grant that they're trying to put together in order to bring some tools and opportunities to downtowns across Kentucky. We were successful. I just got that notice the first week of January that we've been selected, 1 out of 15 cities that applied for it, that will come in and truly focus on our downtown from an economic development standpoint. So it's a great opportunity. It's 100% that, or it's $100,000 grant. It's 100% funded. And so it's really unique. I did do a little Zoom meeting with the person that runs that program inside the cabinet, and they were very intrigued about the way we try to envision our downtown and what we can look at. So I'm very fortunate to come before you and let you know that we did get that grant. So that's exciting. Part of that grant will look at the downtown as a whole, but it will pick probably 2 what they call catalytic sites that they will primarily focus on that will help us create the tools necessary in order to make some development on these particular sites a reality. So that's going to help us then also shape what does our incentive opportunities need to look like? What do we need to put in place as far as even planning and zoning or permitting in order to facilitate the types of uses that we've been talking about for years here. So that's another great opportunity. I think it's going to come later this year or earlier this spring anyway. I'm meeting with them the end of this month to kind of develop the scoping study. I've tried to reach out, I think, to Tim and Kevin to see if you're available, part of that initial scoping meeting, for we can get a lot of connectivity involved in this project. So that's something exciting that's going to be coming as well. And then Mayor Pike, as you've heard us talk about before, is wanting to kind of bring back at least the components and the organizational structure of the Main Street program that really kind of helps grow a synergy amongst the downtown businesses and merchants and residents. So the city's kind of ramping back up. Met with a lot of the downtown business owners and some residents, and they're very excited about reconnecting with that program. And so that's going to be rolling out probably towards the end of this month too, with a steering committee organization structure made up of all our downtown business owners and a couple residents. And then they will connect with us as stakeholders in that initiative. So that's another thing that's going to be coming down the pike here over the next coming months, and hopefully create some good synergy for some growth opportunities in our downtown. Update on the amphitheater. We're looking at completing the amphitheater and the restroom building probably by mid-February. They run into some of the finished detail problems with materials on the inside, so that's what's taking a little bit longer. But nonetheless, we see the end of the tunnel, at least for the buildings themselves. The next phase, which is bid package 4, which will do the parking, the performance lawn, realignment of the roadway in order to get that facility usable. Those advertisements for those bids should hit the street around mid-February is our go, and hopefully start construction late spring, early summer, and hopefully be done by the fall is our goal on that, to where we can hopefully build to a nice opening in the 2025 season for that. So police department has been going as clockwork. We've had a little bit more bump in the weather now than we did this past year. So our goal is to hopefully have that building under roof. They're telling me probably by the end of February now. We're hoping to be around end of January, but it might be the end of February. And at that point in time, then that project will start to pick up more, because now all the trades will come internally once that building gets sealed up, to where then they can really start moving that project a little bit forward. They're supposed to start a lot of the skin on the building, a lot of the brickwork, but with the weather, they've had to postpone that. So probably, in a couple of weeks, you're going to see them hot and heavy around that building, starting to put all the skin on the building, the brick and the masonry and all that. So it's really going to start taking the shape of a good building exterior. So, other than that, unless you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to.
I want you to tell them about the meeting that I have for in the morning at 10 o'clock with the Restaurant Association, the head of that, and tell her what the first question was she asked you.
Oh, yeah, the restaurant, the president of the Kentucky and Louisville Area Restaurant Association reached out to Jeffersontown. Evidently, she's been hearing a lot of good things about downtown Jeffersontown and the city as a whole. And so she kind of wanted to reconnect back with the city. So we're going to be meet with her and tell her a little bit of our vision and the mayor's vision to be able to revitalize our downtown and definitely increase our opportunities for restaurants and retail. So we're very optimistic about that conversation, and it seems to be poised to want to work with us and figure out a strategy how we can engage them.
But what was the first question she said?
You have parking?
Do you have parking?
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
knew that was it.
Exactly right.
I knew that's what.
They
it
said
was.
that was always the challenges with parking and
Yeah,
that. So,
that was big on their list. Do we have parking?
yeah. And if
So-
you recall previously, we got a small grant from KIP to physically study our downtown parking inventory and how that relates to potential future land use projections, as well as traffic and access management type of structure. So we're going to be working with that plan and these other ones going on, and hopefully we can create an environment to where, make an easy path anyway for restaurants and other types of retail uses to come in our downtown.
So Matt, the amphitheater, nothing will be usable until 2025?
Unfortunately, and it'd be very difficult for me to get a certificate of occupancy until I have adequate parking, ADA accessibility, and all that. And all that elements of the project is in the next bid package. That won't be advertised till probably about mid-February. So that's going to be the challenge of that site. Yes, that building will be complete and probably be sitting there until I can get that part going. I can't open up to the public. If there's some other strategies, and I'm working with our permitting department now to see how much can we potentially get to while maybe some other phases of construction are going on, but it seems to be very, very limited because of those standards.
Well, wonder if I put the sheds, like I want to put the sheds, and that's not open. We just have a shed party.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I brought this up, that subject, at the First Baptist Church on Sunday and told them what my vision was. And as you well know, MLK, Martin Luther King, his vision, he had a dream. And I said to them, I have a dream. And I have a dream of Jeffersontown being a hustling, bustling little place that we do businesses and people are walking and everybody being one. We're a very unique community. And I told them of the vision I have of building these little sheds like Norton Commons and of the Paristown. I've already had 2 people call me since yesterday wanting to rent one, and I don't even have them yet. So I'm meeting with Bobby Epperson tomorrow about this. I got a shed package and they wanted $6,000 for a shed package. Now I know that our public works can build them a lot cheaper than $6,000. So I did my own investigation and I figure that I need 3 sheets of plywood down each side, and that would be 9 sheets. 9 times 8 is 72. $720 will build me a shed, not the front, but the sides and the back. And then I thought we could get a mini split for the heat and air, but I'm planning all this because when we do this down there, I need the electricity put in. But people are excited about having that and the music on the Great Lawn, the little sheds to go to. You can rent them for 30 days at a time. It's going to be a great place to go to. So I just want to tell you, everybody is excited about it. I've already got a guy wanting to put his ribs down there. I mean,
everybody's excited
yeah,
about it. That's why I was
everybody's excited
thinking
about it. So,
2025 is another whole year off. I
well,
mean,
I'm trying to get it sooner, but anyway.
do you have to have parking on site? Is that the issue? Or you have to have
Yes,
X
you
amount
gotta
of
have
number?
ADA accessible parking, and you also got to have the building itself accessible to ADA, which means all the walkways around the building, connecting up the doorways, the ramps to the stage and all that. And all that is inside of the next bid package.
And the bid package is just now getting ready to go out.
Yes. If you recall, we applied for a couple of grants.
Yeah.
We got them. So we
Got it.
evaluated those grants and we're trying to see if we can utilize those grants in the next bid package. If we can't, they'll go into one of the future bid packages, but I was trying to bring that money in if I could. Plus, we had to adjust some of the utilities because the water company jumped the gun and installed their upgrade of their water main down Old Taylorsville Road in the wrong location for the current plans. They were supposed to wait until after we got done with that next phase. So we're bringing a little bit of that element back into bid package 4 for we can really get to a better stopping point, if you will, if we had to, before we would finish up the other 2 phases.
And we have the money for the new bid package coming up.
For bid package 4,
Funds.
it's my understanding, yes, that we currently have funding for that bid package, yes.
Any questions?
Yeah, so what is that, what's been done inside exactly then?
Well,
They-
I mean, they be doing all the HVAC, electrical, plumbing, a lot of the rigging for the lighting. They're trying to bring in, some of the, finished elements, but they couldn't get to that until, end of this week where we actually have, full electricity to the building where they can start up the HVAC system, make sure it's all working, get that building climate controlled, where then they can start doing all the details of the drywall, the woodworking, all the other fine details that need a temperature controlled environment in order to be constructed.
But that won't be done either, right? You're saying until, that's in the next bid package as well.
No.
No,
The
that's-
building itself
Okay.
will be complete here by the end of
Okay,
February.
well, could we use that? Could we rent that out for like a wedding or? a place
We
for
gotta
use?
have parking.
You gotta have parking and you gotta be able to
Okay.
walk to the building. I mean,
You
if the
can't-
city,
okay,
You gotta
okay.
walk, yeah, we
Right.
gotta have some,
Yeah, we gotta have
some
something.
solid service.
Maybe we could have a private party.
Yeah, we could have.
A council party.
you can have
Matt,
those.
Sell
but
our own tickets.
The
Matt,
challenge is
Take
even if
the
we
bus.
found
Yeah.
a temporary solution, all the improvements that are in that next bid package are going to be right in the middle of trying to even have some temporary access to the building. So that's a challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt,
it's
when
gonna-
this when this bid package goes out, how long before we award?
2 weeks.
The CARES statute, I think, says the bid has to be out, no less than 7 days, no more than 14. But on a big project like
weeks.
this and a lot of details, we like to try to leave the advertisement out for about 30 days at a minimum. So once that comes in, our engineers evaluate all the bids, make sure they're all good, they meet all the specs and standards. If they are, then we move aggressively to come before you and award the contract to the lowest bidder. And at that point in time, then the notice to proceed is issued and then away they go. So if we get this thing advertised by the end of February, middle of February, then middle of March, the bids will come in. Hopefully maybe by that first meeting in April, we can award the contract and the notice proceed.
So when we award the contract, will there be a time frame for them to get the job
Right.
done.
We put a general expectation in the bid documents, okay? But most times that is a negotiated element when you get to the contract stage of the contractor that you're selecting. That way you have the ability to negotiate a timeline on a bid package.
Any questions, Pam?
No.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. At this time, Debbie, I want you to come up and tell them what we've been doing this week. I had a 3-hour meeting with Debbie on Friday. I feel like I'm joined at the hips.
Seems like every time I come to you, I talk about fun stuff going on in J-Town. So I'm all about fun. Hold on, I made some notes I wanted to talk to you about. To make sure we cover everything. Starting in February, we have our orchestra that'll be back. The Louisville Orchestra will be at the Jeffersonian on February 8th and April 11th. So if you put that on your calendar, we will remind you, but I just want you to put that on your calendar. They haven't been back in Jeffersontown since last October, I think it was. So we're lucky to get them back this year. Easter Fest is March 23rd. Normally it would be March 30th, but that's in the middle of spring break. So we moved it up a week. So it's on March 23rd. It'll be 11 to 1. Location will be at Veterans Park. Mayor Pike did to say that it probably will be a weather dependent event. So we're not sure if we will move it inside or not, but it will be a weather permitting event on that side of it. Just FYI, Summerfest is June the 14th. So put that on your calendar. It's Friday, June the 14th.
And you might want to tell them about the band that we got coming.
Oh, yes.
It's June the 14th.
June the 14th.
Summerfest.
Summerfest.
Oh, is that the beer thing?
No.
No, that's July 20th.
Oh,
beer.
what's the Summerfest?
Summerfest is our event, the one we have the fireworks and the kids inflatable that we have down at Veterans Park. We've had the same van for the last 3 or 4 years. So we said, you know, Mayor Pike's come in and we've kind of changed everything up a little bit. Let's see what we can find. And Emily found this amazing band out of Lexington, and it's kind of like a Jimmy Buffett band. They perform in Panama City and in Destin and all over the Florida coast. And so we talked to them. They did have June 14th available. So they're going to come to us, and it's more of your it's something of like
beach balls
the
and all
beach
that.
balls.
Should
We're going
be
to
a
have beach
fun
balls out in
time
the
of
parking
it.
lot and all kinds of fun stuff. We're speaking with the inflatable company now to see if we can get some extra inflatables. We still have the fireworks. I have spoken to them. They are going to try to set the fireworks to music this year. So kind of jazz that up a little bit. So I'm excited about June 14th. That's in the middle of the month. We don't have to fight with Memorial Day or 4th of July this year. So please go ahead and put that on your calendar. So that should be a fun night. Exciting news. We are going to start having our trolley hops. It's going to be the final Friday of every month starting in April. It will go April through September, so 6 months, but it'll be the final Friday of every month. So we're still working the details of who we're going to stop, the times, how long we're going to be there, but we are going to have a trolley hop. We are going to hopefully be able to use our trolley and keep it in the downtown corridor, maybe go over a little bit to Plainview and be back, but that is our plan. So that will start in April as well too. Then the following week after that is Derby, and we are doing the bed race again. So that will be.
We came in second last year.
Yeah, I think it was second.
And we were close to having first place.
Yeah, so it's
So I think some of our runners, Chief, are they not wanting to run this year? Okay.
Yay, okay.
They
So
better be training.
yes, that's it. So it will be April the 29th will be the bed race. And that's the Monday. It'll be at Broadbent Arena. They have reached out to us to have a meeting to see if Jeffersontown wants to be more actively involved with the Derby event. So we're still waiting to hear back from them. But it will be the 29th. The theme this year is Derby through 150 years. So we came up with the idea that Jeffersontown has our own Derby winning jockey, Roscoe Goose. and said, well, why can't we take that? Nobody else that does this has their own jockey. We have our own jockey. Let's promote that. So our theme is going to be Jeffersontown, home of Roscoe Goose, 1913 Derby jockey. That's going to be our shirts. We've got pictures of his jockey silks. They're red with a tobacco leaf on the back. So we're going to try to get the runners to have like jockey silks with the just almost identical to that. We've got to figure out who's going to run first, but because the lady that I spoke to that makes jockey silk, she said, well, all of our jockeys silks fit someone that's 4'11" and 105 pounds. I said, well, can we adjust that? Because I think a lot of our runners are not 4'11".
Young?
Yeah. So yeah, so we're, yeah. So we are going to figure out who our runners are, have them do jockey silks, do white baseball pants, and the ball cap. And then Emily is going to be our driver again, and we've ordered her a horse costume. And so she's going to, with a garland of roses around her neck, and that's what's going to happen for our bed races. We're really, really excited. I know Public Works is excited to do it again with us. And so, so please mark that down. We had a great tailgate, great time. It was a great event. So, so please put that on your calendar.
Hopefully it'll be warmer.
Oh, that was horrible last year. Just FYI, the night market will start May the 18th. That's a Saturday. It'll be May, June, July, and August is our night markets. So that will start on that first Saturday. Well, not the first Saturday of May, but it'll be a Saturday, May 18th. The cool thing what we're doing this year is we're doing the drive-in movie the Friday before the night market. So we can say it's a fun weekend in Jeffersontown. So you come to the movie on Friday night. So it'd either be majority of our drive-in movies are at Skyview. We do like having one at the pool, normally in June or July. But majority of times it's at Skyview Park. And we have we get a couple hundred people come out. Just depends on the movie, the weather. So that is our plans, is to have the drive-in movie the Friday before the night market. And let's see, the first drive-in movie will be May 17th.
Y'all tired yet?
I'm glad I made notes. Do you all have any questions for me?
Debbie, when does the pool open up?
May 18th.
May 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Are you having, I know y'all had advertised for guards. Are you getting pretty good reply on that?
I only needed to hire 7 guards. And I think I've got a stack of about 12 in my office right now that I'm already scheduling interviews with next week. A lot of these guards are already certified too. So they've come to us and they've been to Lakeside, KPM. So we're getting some good hits this year.
Y'all had a great group last year.
Oh, yes.
Great.
Yes. Yes. So just let y'all know, speak with your House representatives. House Bill 109 is in the process right now. It's in the Committee for Local Government, and that is our lifeguard bill that they're trying to do, to take lifeguard numbers back to the way they were before last year. Just as a reminder, last year we did it, they changed it on us that you had to do square footage versus head count. So we had every morning we had to open the pool with 7 guards. Even if there was only one person in that pool, we had to have 7 guards. Looks like what they're trying to do is to do it in 3 different classes, a class A through I think E. Plainview Pool would fall into a class A because we're a public pool. A class B would be like country clubs, private places. So I think we would fall in a class A. I really hope they don't say class A, you stay the way you are, and everybody else will change you back to do head count. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. So please contact your representatives and let them know that we need this number changed because it affects our numbers big time. House Bill 109.
And Debbie, that would be for all categories of pools? We want to change it? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Debbie, you said the night market Is it going to be like this, like the third Saturday of every month for a time period? or is
Yes,
it gonna
except for
rotate?
July.
Except for July.
Bec-
Okay.
The reason I say July is because
Beer Fest.
the beer fest is going to be July 20th because there's a wedding. So they've moved theirs around. So we're having to move ours around to allow them. But
Gotcha.
it's normally going to be the third weekend. But I can't say the third weekend because of July. But yes,
Gotcha.
that is the plan. So we're trying to be more consistent of like the trolley hops are final Friday of
Final
every month,
Fridays, final.
different things like that. So it looks like, I mean, we've got the trolley's got to get some repairs on it. And then luckily we've got a great little driver, Jeremy, that's got a CDL passenger. So it'll be a fun time.
Speaking of the trolley, I've sent a letter down to Mark Zoller, I think is his last name, asking him, can we either purchase a trolley or can we sign a long-term lease with him? We don't want to needs $3,800 worth of repairs. I don't want to put that in it if I think they're going to come in 2 weeks and take back the trolley. So I'm waiting for an answer for that. So I'll know that soon.
And if something
than that-
like that would happen, we could always use the senior citizen buses for our trolley hop.
As long as it's got some air conditioning. When I took out the hotel people, they were about to die.
Is there any
They
other?
didn't want to locate in J-Town. They were so hot.
Hot. Yeah. Is there anybody else have any other questions? All right. Well, thank y'all
Thank
for.
you, Debbie.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Debbie.
for
Thank you.
everything.
Thanks, Debbie.
Okay, committee reports. Pam Hickey.
Debbie just said it all.
I have nothing.
Pam where?
I just want to say I'm really sorry to see Tom retire. I thought he'd
Yeah.
be here forever and ever. Is there going to be any kind of party for him, or is he gone now?
He's gone.
Is he gone?
Go ahead, Chief. He said that he would come back and help us with the audio if we needed it some. But he does not want us to do anything. He doesn't want a party or anything like that. But he will be greatly missed, and he's been a statue around the city ever since I've been here. So 40-something years. So anyway, sorry to see him go.
That's all.
Okay. Right. I was going to announce
That's
that.
right.
Oh, it has? Okay.
Mark.
No report.
Pardon?
Tomorrow too? I wasn't, nothing, the dare luncheon, or the dare thing we were talking about.
We're not having it, so it's not in school. They're not in
Oh,
school.
they're not having school tomorrow.
Not having school.
This is too cold?
Well, they're having everything by Zoom, so schools are
NTI.
canceled.
NTI.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
No report.
Thank you. Allison,
No report.
Tim,
I'm gonna adopt Matt Menyer's report as mine. Isn't that the correct way to say it, Fred?
Ah,
So moved.
No, Matt, thank you for that information. That was good. It sounds like we were having a little pushback on a different idea you came with, and you came with something else, one that you had mentioned earlier about finding schools to make it a project and internship. So thank you. Debbie, sounds like we got a busy calendar coming up. Thanks for all that information. Chief, sounds like you had a good bust about a week or two ago. Congratulations. I'm glad everybody's safe. Jimmy, we all got an email from Chenoweth Hills the other day asking about no parking signs. Pam and I, we've had this discussion. Pam, throwing up stop signs, no parking signs, just throwing up signs everywhere. Didn't know if that was the solution. So I had emailed Jimmy and Bill Fox knowing that they were on the committee that go out to survey the land. Jimmy ran with the ball, and the gentleman called him, and he gave different suggestions, talking about using your website, your newsletter, saying, hey, with the snow coming, the streets need to be clear. This other kind of messaging, just to try to stay away, and then the sign would be the last option, and waiting for feedback on that. So Jimmy, thank you for thinking outside the box on that too. And, that's
Tim,
all
what
I
was that
have.
man's name?
Bob,
Bramer?
Bremer.
Bremer?
Bremer,
Is he a candidate?
he's running for council.
But I think that that was a good idea instead of just sending the committee out there to look at it and then researching and coming back and saying, here's this. Jimmy responded and said, hey, let's
Good
look
job.
at other options
Mhm.
instead of throwing.
There's
up
no
signs.
happy medium when it comes to off-street parking. I mean, we've dealt with it for 40 years and we'll deal with it for the next 40 years. You know, everybody doesn't want it, but they don't want it in front of their house or they don't want to block their driveway. And I mean, we go through this and there's just no happy, I don't know the answer. So, but anyway, thank you, Tim.
So thank you.
Trina?
No report. Tim took care of all of it.
Okay. Kevin?
Mayor, I just want to thank you and Matt and Brian for y'all's work daily on the economic development. I'm really excited about this grant that Matt was talking about and getting to see down the road what planning and zoning can do to help push us forward. Other than that, no business.
Thank you very much. Vince?
I did, by email, invite Mr. Bremer to come and talk because the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
But, maybe he was busy tonight. I do want to thank, Jimmy for great road work on
Absolutely.
a little bit of snow we had, kept us safe. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to briefly tell you, what goes on at nighttime around here is unbelievable. Y'all have no idea. At 4:12 the other morning, Jimmy and I are texting back and forth. You all, it's a major decision whether or not you're going to call out the troops, not call out the troops, pay the overtime, not pay the overtime. You know, we just want to keep our citizens safe. And, you know, we weigh it, we look at it, he rides, I go out, I'm riding the other night, you know, whether or not we should do it. So I just want you to know that we don't call Public Works in lightly. We talk to the police department. The police department advises us what they think the roads are and what we should do. So I appreciate that, Chief, and all the input that you have into what the Public Works are going to do. And I appreciate our departments because without them, we wouldn't have a city. And you just have no idea how much work these guys do. But anyway, I had that. Then I have the baby box. Yesterday I went to the baby box and you know me, I'm emotional and I got upset. I thought of you, Bill, because I cried at the thing and it was very moving. The baby box is the 194th baby box that has been installed in the United States. Yesterday, a lady was up there who had a baby that was 18 months old that had been placed in the baby box. And it was a very moving experience. And the lady who is behind this and getting all these boxes was also a baby box baby. And that's where she came from.
That's cool.
So it was very, very moving. And I really appreciate that. Tara Bassett. How many of you know Tara Bassett? Okay. Tara Bassett has been emailing me almost daily. Back last year, I think I mentioned this to you all. Tara Bassett is very big in saving animals. And as you well know, that's one of the things that is close to my heart. And speaking of that, Chief, I don't know which one of your officers did this, but I would like to commend them for what they did. We found a box of 8 puppies thrown in the garbage can. And his officers took them down and saved their lives, basically. So Tara Bassett wants to start a committee or a coalition out here to where, and I'll take it out of my funds, to where we start and we're going to give out scanners. Like I'll take one to the police department, we'll take one to the fire department, the hardware store, whatever. If you find an animal, pick him up and take him to one of these places. Let him be scanned. And if he has a home, then let's help him get home. So anyway, it's going to be a big meeting and I need volunteers. And so Tara Bassett's bringing a group of people out here in the next week or so. And I need some of the council members to become a part of this group. So you think about it. If you are willing to do this with me, then email me. So that's another thing that's going to go on around here. No dare tomorrow. I've already got that on there. And okay, baby box. I can't read the other thing I put on here, so it must not been important. SH something. That's all I have. Do I hear?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh,
Carol, I think you go.
huh? Yeah.
Just go back on memory real quick. You said about the trolley. I remember negotiating that before Barry Barker retired. We cannot own it because it was bought with federal dollars. through a
Oh.
grant. So they have to keep the ownership. Matt will probably contest to that. That's true. But he rented it to us for $1. And I think there might have been some term on it. I don't know if you remember, it'd be hard to find maybe. If you could find that, that'd be nice because then you could just do an extension.
Well, I've got a copy of it, but someone told me through the grapevine that they're wanting their trolleys back and that they might want their trolley. So that's why I wanted to have that in writing.
If you've got Barry Barker was the one right before he retired. We tried to do this for years and we couldn't get it done. And then finally him and I just did the contract. If you found it, I just tried to do an extension on it and see if they'll sign it and just
Okay.
don't make a big deal of it.
Okay.
Whatever it was, $1 or something. I'm trying to
I
go
think
back
it was
on that.
$1. It was $1.
Huh? But we
Plus maintenance.
agreed to pay all the maintenance. Yeah.
Right.
But to your point, you don't want to spend the maintenance if they want it back, and they don't want it back. Those things are so bad shape, and we got the better one. The other thing is to tell you about the Tom. While Tom was going through his other retirement, I got contacted at that point in time by Marlin and the area ministries. I was at one of their meetings, and just to make you aware, because I know the minister down at the firehouse is a really good guy. I mean, he would be great to be here. They were suggesting, and I don't know how you physically do this, that all different religions should be represented in the city. So they suggested that they have different ministers provide different timeframes to cover the city. You may consider that at the time, but I also want to just make you aware that was brought up several years back when Tom originally retired.
Ministers.
So you may think about that.
You know, I'll bring that up, Bill. And I tell you, I'm having a meeting with them. This is another thing that came out of the meeting, the Martin Luther King meeting. And against Fred's advice, Fred said that we should not probably have a live nativity. So I brought it up at the Martin Luther King speech when I was talking, and these people have jumped on this like you would not believe. So all the preachers in Jeffersontown are wanting to get together and form a live nativity set with all the churches. And the guy at the Christian church at the Jeffersonian up there, I think it's Christian, he's got a piece of land that does not belong to the city, but it looks like it is in the city. And he's going to donate that. And then each church is going to take a night. I think it's how we're going to do this. I'm going to have a meeting with them and get all of it ironed out. But every church in this town will be involved in the live nativity set. And I've already got the camels and I got the pigs and I got the animals. It's the people I don't have.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a Mary and a Joseph.
Next to the parking lot,
Oh, Trina.
Carol, the property next to the parking lot is the church's parking lot. And when we put in the redoing of the road, in order to take part of their land, we agreed to maintain. So it looks like but all that land over just about to the monuments
To the tree.
is
Right.
the church.
Is his churches.
Yeah, that was traded by Daniel. God, I'm doing good on
That
that.
was Daniel.
He traded
traded
that
it.
back to
We
get the
traded it.
parking lot for the community center.
Right.
Right. Yeah, we both remember. We're both young. That's
It's
pretty
been a
good. Yeah,
long,
yeah,
long
yeah.
time ago.
So that's all. I'm sorry. I just wanted to
That's
bring that
okay.
up for you.
Thank you. Okay, do I have a first,
First and a second.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Vince, I need to